What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tyson from All Pro Wraps and Graphics. Whether you've been an installer for 10 years or just starting out, it's always important to make sure you have the right tools to do your job. And today we're gonna go through them. All right, if you have no other tool in your arsenal, this is the one to make sure you have. And that is an Olfa knife. As a seasoned installer, I use 2 Olfa knives on the daily. You can see my plastic one right here. It's great for just cutting out my pieces, making sure I'm getting the right size ones. And then my metal one, I use for precise cuts to make sure it's clean. Moving on, squeegees. It's really important to have a multitude of squeegees, different felt sizes. I use the banana buffer. Great, slides over the wrap, doesn't hang up, great for installs. Our tucking tools. They come in all shapes and sizes. Great for tucking vinyl, very important. Pens. Right here, I have a crayon, or as we know them as Stabilos, and also just a plain old Sharpie. Great for kind of marking out your general pattern for your panel, or just making sure the number, letter, just important. So you'll see a lot of installers using what we call wrap gloves. If you're not used to working with a wrap glove, you're probably used to working with a squeegee. Wrap gloves are a little different. They allow you to work into little intricate pieces that the squeegee can't get into, and you're also so you don't burn yourself when you're working with a heat gun or torch. When installing, you run into a lot of different situations where you're gonna need different sizes, different types of flexibility in your squeegees. So making sure that you have different sizes, different kinds of textures, different plastics, making sure that whenever you run into a situation, you're always ready to knock it out. Some of the tools are just nice to have around just in case you run into a certain situation. Like this. This is great for door edges if you can't access it with your finger or squeegee. Obviously you have that little hook on there. Great for doing that. Moving on from that, we have our tape measure. I like to use the small ones. Having the big bulky ones on your tool belt kind of gets in the way of what you're doing. So having the small one, you even have this little extra tiny squeegee when you run into small issues. So working in a big shop, most of the time we run into issues, make sure we're keeping it clean. This is what we call a snap box. So whenever I'm done using a blade, kind of getting dull, obviously my daughter's put a little kitty on there for me. We want to make sure that dull blade goes into some sort of protective case, just so that when you're working around cars, you're on the ground, you're not stepping on them, you're not poking yourself with any knives. So snap box, definitely important. All right, and when you put it all together, you have your handy dandy pouch. I personally like the smaller pouches that I can easily clip on and off. Obviously other installers, you'll see having the big chest pieces or an apron or even just a belt. But personally, I like the smaller compact stuff. All right guys, as always, thanks for watching our video.